It is finally time to do the Final Destination character ranking list. Now, as you can see, number one, I don't have the clipboard for this, the whiteboard, only because we're going to do the tier list maker because I saw an awesome one that shows every character, and also people also wanted to see me rank the premonitions. So luckily in this one, it shows the premonitions as part of the rankings list. So I was like, hey, might as well do this. Don't worry, the whiteboard will be back soon. And yeah, also I apologize that I haven't made a video in like a week or so. I've been feeling very sick lately and I couldn't have time to do it. And I just didn't want to throw out bullshit content just to do it. I never want to do something like that. So we're finally back. We're going to do the rankings and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so how we start off our list. We go from best, solid, meh, could care less, and absolute garbage. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the characters are probably gonna go in the meh list because in the Final Destination franchise, most of the time they really don't do character development that much. So you could really care less for most of them, but they're also like okay characters, so most of them will probably be in the meh, but we'll get into it when we get to that point. All right, the first one, Flight 180. Obviously, the first premonition we see in the first ever Final Destination movie, and I think a plane crash I thought was a pretty good one, and it's probably going under best. I think this is one of my favorites. A plane crash was insane, and I love the way they did it in the premonition, and also we get to see it actually happen fully in Final Destination 5, which is still one of the best plot twists I've ever seen. Next we have Todd, who died by the clothesline where he got caught in it. She was strangled to death, had blood clot eyes, and just freaking died from, yeah. It was very sad to see. And Todd, the character though, I put him under meh. I mean, he was the first death in the franchise, and he really didn't do much other than be Alex's best friend. The best thing about it is they did feel like best friends, the way they were like taking shits together and they always stuck by each other, which was cool. But overall, as a character, he didn't really get to do much, so he's gonna go under the meh. Next we got Terry, who died from the iconic getting hit by a bus. She's going on the meh as well because it just seemed like she was there to be Carter's girlfriend. It felt like it was like nothing else that happened, so it was like she's like whatever. Miss Luton, could care less. I think she's I don't really like her. I feel like her just being the annoying teacher that was scared of Alex and shit. I was like, girl, he just saved your life, dog. Why are you acting like this? Whatever. She's over here calling the police, and it's ridiculous. Her dying through the explosion in her house when she fucking everything that went wrong in her house was ridiculous. I did like that part where it was just first it was her pouring the tea in the cup, and then she got scared for some reason, and then she wound up just putting alcohol in it, and since the temperature changed in the cup, it cracked, and then she brought her mug to the laptop or the computer, sorry, and then it just exploded, and then that whole scene was insane. That was awesome, but Miss Luton, the character, could care less. Billy Hitchcock, Stifler, who died from a decapitation by a metal piece from a train. I think he was a solid character. I thought seeing Stifler as a different character playing like the super sensitive, kind of stupid character, I thought was pretty fun. Overall, the screen time that he got, he made the best of it. So he's definitely a solid character. Carter, I will also put him as solid. Him being the bully, I mean, he was a generic bully, but overall the character himself was pretty cool. I enjoyed him for what he'd done, especially with the change up that he has in the end for actually looking to save Alex. And his little character development was okay. It wasn't that much, but overall, I think Carter was a fine character. We have Alex. He is one of the best. I think he's one of my favorites. Let's switch him over here. He is one of my favorites. Overall, he as a character is fantastic. The only downfall is his death is by a falling brick. I think it's one of the weakest of the Final Destination franchise. Maybe the weakest because we don't see it on screen either. I think it was because of maybe I think it was scheduling wrong, or they couldn't agree on a contract or something like that. So they were like, "Fuck it, let's just let's have your character die by a brick." Even though your character was so fucking nervous and obsessed of surviving death this whole time, yeah, let a flying brick be the reason that you die. I hated that, but overall the character Alex will go under best. Route 23, another great premonition, and I am gonna put that under best. I love the log scene. Everybody, it's such an iconic scene. Even if you don't watch Final Destination, you always know about the log scene where the logs fall off, and then that's when the whole Route 23 happens and everything explodes. And this is mainly the reason why today people still don't drive behind log trucks. They get scared immediately. They just switch lanes, get past them. It's a reoccurring thing that people still to this day don't like. So it's definitely going under the best. Evan Lewis, he just won the lottery. He's pretty much the douchebag, and his death, he just slipped on some spaghetti and then got a apartment. What was it, the staircase? One of the sides of the staircase impaled him in the eye. Cool death, but overall character, could care less. I mean, he wasn't even like that good of a character. He barely shows up. He's also one of the deaths that's like the first in the movie. So really nothing important happens to him. I really could care less about the character. Tim Carpenter, absolute garbage. I hated this character. The way the kid acted, not his age. Sometimes he acts his age. Apparently he was 15. But then sometimes he acts like he's like 12. And then sometimes he says some real crazy shit like, oh, if I come back with my pants unzipped, we're not paying and stuff. I'm like, dude, what? How old are you, dog? I can't stand it. So yeah, his death was cool though when he died from the glass smashing him. I thought it was an awesome one, but overall he's an absolute garbage character. Nora Carpenter, I will give her a meh. She's a meh character. After seeing her son die, she was very emotional and it felt like she was a real mother. And then her dying from her head getting decapitated by an elevator was awesome as well. But overall, the character, she's a meh. Kat, another meh character. I'll put her over Nora. You know what? I'll put her over here, and then I'll put Nora over here, to be honest with you. Nothing much to say about Kat. The only thing cool about her was her death. I guess her death was cool as well. But other than that, the character herself is just whatever. But a great character over here, Rory, he is one of my favorite characters. Rory is such a fun character. He was hilarious. The way he went about everything, I thought he was an awesome character. And the way he died was insane as well. So I think overall, Rory himself is a great character. Eugene gets exploded in a fucking hospital room. I really think he would go under meh as well. Eugene wasn't a fun character to me. I mean, except for like some of the parts. Other than that, I was just like, whatever. But who is a great character. Unfortunately, she died in like I want to say a terrible, but for her being a legacy character, Claire Eber, she is my number one currently. But the way she dies as a legacy character, dying from that was pretty mid, if you ask me. But overall, Clear Rivers is definitely one of the best characters. She is fantastic. I love Clear Rivers. Brian, he dies from exploding grill at the barbecue at the end of Final Destination 2. Could care less because we barely get to see him on screen. He's only there for like 2 scenes, was when Rory saved him, and then when he dies at the end. Devil's Flight, the roller coaster premonition. This will go under solid. Dude, I love the roller coaster aspect of it. Awesome. I love roller coasters. So it being the premonition, I thought will still be awesome. But it's definitely solid. I wouldn't say it's one of the best, only because some of it's like a little off. Like I said, even though it's early 2000s, the CGI, I could give it a break, but a little bit just felt a little too off to me. Some of it felt like, okay, this could have been, I don't know, this could have been better. but overall, it's a solid premonition. Next is Ashley and Ashlyn, who died from the tanning bed scene, which is one of the greatest scenes in the franchise. It's so great. And then the way it goes from their burning tan beds to them, the twin caskets, I thought was awesome. But overall, Ashley and Ashlyn, they are solid characters. The time that they're on the screen, them trying to, feel for Wendy after everything that happened, I thought them as well overall were fun characters to watch for the time they were. Frankie Cheeks, he was a meh character. He was, I don't know, I'll put him there. His death was cool when his the back of his head got shredded by the fucking engine, but overall, Frankie just being the pervert super senior, I was like, it's whatever. It wasn't nothing crazy. Lewis, I'm putting him under, put him under solid. His death was cool, a little bit too much CGI, but I think the character himself being the overconfident jock, I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it. Plus, I enjoy what the actor's done in other projects, but overall, Lewis, the character, he's pretty solid. Erin, she has one of the most insane deaths that still haunt me to this day. When she gets impaled by the nail gun, just kept shooting her in the back. And back of her head, insane. But her as a character, she's another meh character. Nothing there, just there to be Ian's girlfriend. Doesn't do much really, so I could care less. Perry, I don't want to put her in absolute garbage because she doesn't deserve it, but Perry could care less because literally she's there for one scene when she gets impaled by the flag in the climax of Final Destination 3. So it's like, that's literally all she was there for, so I could care less. Ian McKinley, he is a solid character. I think him, after seeing his girlfriend died, he actually has the situation where he actually wants to see Wendy and everybody die because obviously his girlfriend just died. So it's one of those things where, hey, this guy has an actual human emotion and feels the fact that his girlfriend actually just died like a day ago, and him having this grudge, and it's like, Wendy, you're next, it's cool. And then he died from a cherry picker. It could have been a better death, but the cherry picker was fine. Drain 081 in reverse is 180. It is a solid. I'll put it over here. It's a solid premonition. I like the train situation. It's awesome, but the only problem is the way it's gone about. It's like that could have been the ending of the movie, but the fact that it just became a second premonition, and then we don't actually see it go down, we just hear like the screeching of the train signaling like everything that happened in premonition happened. It could have just been the ending itself. I don't think we needed it being a second premonition. I feel like that was pretty lame, but overall the train sequence itself, awesome. I like that. Julie is a meh character as well. She doesn't really feel like a sister to Wendy, but then again, she really isn't like that much screen time until like the ending of the movie. So overall, it felt like she was more of a cousin than a sister to Wendy, if that makes any sense. Kevin also dies in a train incident. I think Kevin was a solid character, if you ask me. Kevin, him as, first of all, the actor is amazing as well. Kevin is one of the strongest characters in the franchise, him and Wendy, because Mary Elizabeth Winstead, they're both great actors, so I was not upset with their performances. So Kevin is definitely a solid character. He's his comedic timing, great. Some of the stuff that he does is actually fantastic, so he's definitely a solid character. Wendy, she is also a we'll put her under, Wendy's solid as well. I'll give it to her. Wendy's solid. except for her dialogue being kind of annoying at some points, and her keep continuously mentioning that she's a control freak and all that. I'm like, all right, we get it. But overall, I think Wendy was a fine character. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like I said, she's one of the strongest in the franchise. She's definitely solid. The McKinley Speedway, absolute garbage. We've talked about this many a times, how Final Destination 4 has the worst premonition in all of the franchise. It's not a good one. I don't like the Speedway. And there's people in the comment sections other than there's like, well, the director said that the Speedway isn't actually the fear. The fear is being stuck in a crowd. But I'm like, you could have did anything else better than getting stuck in a crowd, not a fucking Speedway. There's other ways you can go about getting stuck in a crowd. But sure, absolute garbage. You know what? This goes in front of Tim because this shit is terrible. Nadia, she dies immediately from the one of the car wheels, which is actually an awesome sequence in Final Destination 4. It's one of the only bright spots. But her, the character herself, it's honestly, she gets honestly could care less. She's not that important in the story at all, so doesn't matter. Racist Carter, absolute garbage. I could not stand this character. The way he goes about everything, I hate it. I really do. I can't stand it. What he does, the dialogue, how annoying and racist he is, it's not a good character, not at all. Samantha, she gets impaled by the rock after her haircut appointment. Should go all the way to the back though. For the time that she's on screen, I don't mind her. So Samantha definitely is a solid character. Not one of my favorites, but overall is a okay character. Andy could care less. He's literally only there because his girlfriend died, and that's pretty much it. The next time we see him is when he dies. Nothing insane. Hunt, absolute garbage. Hunt is a terrible character. One of the most terrible leads, him being Nick's best friend. It's like, why would you want to have a best friend like this? The whole movie, he doesn't take anything serious. He's just more of a prick than anything throughout the whole movie. So I think Hunt, the character, is absolutely terrible. Jonathan, the cowboy guy, that's all I know him by, could care less. He goes at the bottom because he's not a terrible character, but he's barely in the movie. He dies by a falling bathtub that was on top of his room in the hospital. And literally that's it. We see him in 2 scenes. Not that great. Next, the mall. The mall premonition, honestly, is one of my favorites. I'm going to be honest. It goes low, but it's one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. That's also a great Final Destination 4 part, is that that scene itself is great. Other than that, the rest of the movie's fucking terrible. But I do like that premonition. That's awesome. Only the best character in the Final Destination 4 is George himself. George is a great character. He's the only one that has like a character development and actually has a true story behind him and reasons as to why he's okay with certain things. I'm not going into the whole thing again. We've done it before. But George is the best character in Final Destination 4. Janet, absolute garbage. She goes right next to Hunt. They are 2 terrible friends, and I could care less. They're annoying. Lori, if you were to ask me, Lori's a meh character, but she's a high meh. It would have been better if she was the person who had the premonition, if you ask me. Better, like, she just felt more of a main protagonist than the next person we talk about, which is Nick. And Nick, I could care less. He is not a great main character at all. I don't like him at all. I don't think him in total, just couldn't care for. The North Bay Bridge is a solid opening. I think it's a great premonition. It's fun. It's a fun one. To see a bridge collapse, I think it's a very big fear. And the whole scene itself is absolutely insane. It was well done, except near the end with the CGI with Sam's death and stuff. It was kind of But other than that, I think the North Bay Bridge premonition is great. Candace is a meh character, but she is also a high meh because her death is fantastic. The way she's at her little gymnast practice and then just like dies by folding like a fucking pretzel is devastating. I still think about that to this day. It's a great death. So overall, Candace herself is a meh character, but she's a high meh. Isaac, he's a meh character. So you know what? Nah, he's not solid. No, actually, I'll give it to him. Hot take. He's a solid character. He plays his role well. The asshole. He's also funny. So I'll give it to him. Isaac is a solid character. Olivia, she is a solid character too. But for the most part, she's nobody really cares. But her whole scene with her getting LASIK eye surgery, insane. That whole scene is ridiculous. So she is a solid character. Roy, he is a could care less character. He's only there to be a dick to Nate. That's pretty much it. I could care less. Dennis, he is a meh character because even though he gets his face gets smashed by a flying wrench, overall he's just not a fun character. I mean, he's barely there. He's the actor himself is hilarious, but overall I could care less about Dennis. But he'll be part of the meh category because it can go either way. He could care less, but I'll put him under the meh. Peter, one of the best characters in the franchise. Peter is the only one I truly think was a very great antagonist besides Death in the whole franchise. He has the best character development within the whole entire franchise, in my opinion. The way he slowly progresses from being, a loving boyfriend, and then when he sees his girlfriend die, he's devastated. He's trying to figure everything out. Then when he finds out from William Bloodworth that there's certain ways that you can survive if you take someone's life, you take their lifespan. And then when Sam mentions that in his premonitions, Molly's the only one that survives because Sam helps her. And then Peter has some faith like, wow, so Candace's life didn't matter. That whole thing, and then him going all around like, okay, I'm gonna kill somebody, and then he doesn't do it but decides he's gonna kill Molly instead because he feels like she doesn't deserve to die. I think that is a great character. He's one of the best characters, so he is going in that spot. Molly, she gets split during she's part of the Flight 180 incident, one of the shocking moments ever. Molly's a solid character. She'll be over here. She's a okay character. If you ask me relationship wise, I think she's one of the better people to be in a relationship with, like Sam being Sam's girlfriend and them having that situation where she doesn't want to hold him back because he wants to go to Paris and have this internship, but she knows that he won't leave because he loves her. So her breaking up with him would make it better for him. And I think I just like that selflessness. I think her being more of I want Sam to be happy by living his dream. And I think her being that makes her a solid character. Sam, he is another solid character. He'll be number one. One of the stronger leads in the Final Destination franchise. Sam, overall, I think him being that boyfriend that he continuously throughout the movie is very, very consistent when it comes to Molly. Him trying to get back with Molly and also trying to survive death and try and figure everything out all at once. So it does make him a great character. I think Sam's a great character. Nate can go under meh. I mean, yeah, I'll put him here. Nathan, I don't know. He's really not that great of a character if you ask me. I don't know. Really nothing crazy. I do like the ending though when he thinks that he has survived death because he's technically took Rory's life, but it turns out his lifespan was going to be short anyways because Rory was already sick to begin with, bro. So I like that twist ending. I think that was cool. But Nathan, the character, meh. The Skyview Tower in Final Destination Bloodlines, one of the new ones. I am putting that under the best category. I don't think a lot of people understand how great this premonition is. Of course, the penny thing being absolutely ridiculous, but my God, the whole tension going towards it when you're going up the elevator and you're just seeing how high up they're getting. Meanwhile, the elevator instructor's telling them how this place was built 5 months ahead of schedule, which doesn't sound good. And you just see the way Iris looks just going up and everything. I just think the whole height situation, then the way everything goes down, I think is a phenomenal premonition. Then we get to Iris herself. Iris, she is a solid character. I'll put her over here. Yeah. Iris is a solid character. Her knowing so much about death because she's been dodging it for decades now, I thought was a great idea. And the fact that she herself, for the time she has, trying to get Steph to understand everything. She even has a book on basically everything she needs to know to keep them from dying and understanding how death works. I think Iris, like that, was a great character. Howard, he is low meh. I mean, he's just there to be the first death in the family. Really, it's just, we've seen it in the trailer. So his death was like okay, but overall, Howard, I could really care for less. Julie, Julia, I could care less for her as well. Her death was cool. Overall, didn't like the character. For what she was, I didn't like her. Eric, he is going in my best category. Eric is one of the best characters. He's hilarious, the way he goes about everything. His care for his brother, trying to help him survive. I think he's just a great family character. Eric is hilarious. Speaking of that, Bobby is a solid character. I think he's also funny. Bobby is very caring as well. He cares for his turtle, and the way he's like willing to get an allergic reaction to try to die and come back to life. Him trying to give up his life like that, I thought was also pretty cool. Arlene, she is a meh character. She's barely a mom. We don't see her to get that development that much. It feels like her development as a mom is very rushed because it needed to get to the final moments. So it's really not anything insane. And then final two, we have Stephanie Reyes. She is a low solid character. I'll put her right here. That's fine. Nope, you're going past those. Yeah, there you go. Stephanie is an okay protagonist. It just does feel like she's very rushed. She's kind of annoying at some points, but overall, I don't think she's a bad character. She is pretty solid. She does die from CGI logs getting smashing her, which I think is pretty lame as well. Same goes for her brother Charlie. He's a solid character. Goes right next to her. Them dying from the freaking logs. It's the CGI was iffy. Didn't really like that ending. It wasn't that impactful, but I think the characters themselves were pretty solid. I didn't hate them that much. I also think they were fine characters for what they were. And that is the ranking of the Final Destination characters. I think this is a pretty solid list. Honestly, I had more solids than I thought I was. I thought most of them were going to go into the meh category, but it was pretty even on that point. I think this is a solid list. A lot of people might hate this because of certain things that I have on here, but I think overall I enjoy what I did with this. I think this is an awesome list. What is your guys' list? Do you like my ranking? Make your own ranking. Let me know in the comments. You can rank every fucking character that you want. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. Once again, this has been the Slasher Bachelor, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys.